Come on in, children. I'm assuming I'm live. Yep. Listen, it's not easy to go live. A lot of people want to go live. A lot of them say that they're going to go live, but to actually hit that button and start teaching or whatever you're going to do, you're committed. It goes 3, 2, 1, you're on. And not only that, but you know that if you're teaching Bible, naturally, YouTube, Facebook, and these other entities, in my opinion, they're throttling you back. They're holding you back on purpose. They don't want truth going out. They don't want the best for you. That's the best way I can put that. They don't want the best for you. Well, your Uncle Jim does. I want the best for you. We are in this book, the Protevangelion, from the lost books of the Bible. And hey, man, this ruffles people's feathers. Why? I don't know. I mean, you have shows on television like Little Demon and Rick and Morty and things of this nature. Hey, listen, go pick a fight with them, Christians. Why are you picking a fight with me? I'm on your side. It makes no sense to me. The choir loves to eat each other. The choir loves to eat each other for whatever reason. I don't know. I guess it's easier to pick a fight with someone you know that's really not going to fight back. But these books are out there, and they're very old. And there's a lot of this that makes a whole lot of sense to me because I can almost proofread my Bible. If you, for instance, if you give me a verse and you quote this verse, I can almost tell you if you're actually quoting Bible or if it is something you're making up, like Quentin Tarantino did in the movie Pulp Fiction. The Bible verse that Samuel L. Jackson quoted, I believe it was Ezekiel. I don't remember something he rambled off, but it is not actual Bible. If you go to look for it, you will find that is false. Okay, this is the book of James, the Protevangelion, and it is an account of Mary's time that she spent before she was pregnant, how she was betrothed, became engaged to Joseph, Jesus' stepdad, and how she became pregnant, which she is right now, and that's where we're at. There are 16 chapters in this book. And then we are going to move into the book of infancy, which is what happened, what did Jesus do from the time that he was born. That is, I believe it is in all 4 Gospels. I'm sure it's in 3. Until he was 12 years of age, when he was sitting with the greatest minds on earth, as far as we know, in the temple in Jerusalem when he was 12. I'm 4 minutes in here, but I'm keeping this moving. Stay with me. You got to be fast. This is not for slow people. I want fast people. I want smart people in this group. If you're not quick, if you can't keep up, maybe this isn't for you. I'm not a beggar. God's people are not beggars. You don't want to be. You want to be in an advanced class in this generation, where you're good chance you're not going to make it. Why he chose me to do this thing, I don't know. I feel called to do it. It's hard for me to speak, and believe me, the devil keeps me busy, but God keeps me busy too, and your prayers are appreciated. I appreciate them very much. I have to have them for protection. So, chapter 10 in this book, the Protevangelion, I pray for you too. I pray for you all too. Keep you in my prayers. We will go in chapter 10 and verse 1. This is when Joseph, I thought that I had already done this and posted it, but I apparently had not. I go back and check. I take care of all this myself. I do it by myself. I get a high five from people every now and then, or you're doing a good job. That's about it. So, verse 1, chapter 10. And when her 6th month was come, Joseph returned from his building houses abroad, which was his trade, and entering into his house, found the virgin grown big. All right, this is not rocket science. He came home from working for a long time, and his wife was pregnant whenever he got home. This has caused for a lot of controversy. We were very advanced at this point in time. A midwife could tell if a woman's hymen had been broken or if it had not. If it had not been broken, there would not be very much controversy going on right now over this thing. It would be very well documented, wouldn't it? Why is Christ called God's only begotten Son? Whenever we are all documented as being God's children, it is biblical. You'll have to make that decision on your own. I'm not going to spoon feed this to you. You do what you want with that. I said a lot, didn't I? I'm not under any boards of men. I can say what I want. If they can kill me, they can eat me, whatever. Verse 2. Then smiting upon his face, sure he did, Joseph did. Joseph said, with what face can I look upon the Lord my God? Or what shall I say concerning this young woman? For I received her a virgin out of the temple of the Lord my God, and have not preserved her as such. And Mary was in a monastery. If you stay with this book, and you stay with this study that we've done, we're going chapter by chapter and verse by verse. You would know that she was put up in a monastery until this point in time. I'm going to go even a little bit further because this is an advanced study. There are rumors, and this is not heresy. I don't believe this, but Pantera was a Roman soldier, and there were rumors that there was rumors put out that Mary had been defiled by this Roman soldier, this centurion called Pantera, whom the band Pantera named themselves after. You may have heard of them. They even have a song called Heresy. All right, there's a defined adversary for you, Christian, and it is not the guy that's reading you this book. I'm on your side. I love my Father, and I don't have to hide anything. His word stands just fine by itself. I don't got to sugarcoat nothing, and they don't scare me. Maybe they do you. They don't scare me. I don't care about what their heresy and words and garbage is. They'll come and they'll go, like all the rest of them. So Joseph is torn at this moment, and he comes home and finds Mary is pregnant and has grown big. She's 6 months along at this point. And he's saying, I received her and was supposed to take care of her, and that didn't, it doesn't appear as though that happened. Verse 4, who has thus deceived me? Question. Who has committed this evil in my house, and seducing the virgin from me, hath defiled her? Is it not the history of Adam exactly accomplished in me? Man, I know I've done this lesson. I don't know where I've lost it somewhere. Maybe I didn't post it. So this is Joseph comparing himself to Adam. Adam and Eve in the garden. What happened to her? She was defiled by the serpent. Joseph is confused. He knows he's an innocent man. For in the very instant of his glory, the serpent came and found Eve alone and seduced her. Verse 7, just after the same manner it has happened to me. 8, then Joseph, arising from the ground, called her and said, O thou who hast been so much favored by God, why hast thou done this? Woman, girl, she's 14. Remember that Mary is 14 years old going through this. And Joseph is an older guy. And he's asking her, why have you done this thing to yourself? Did you not think anybody was going to know? I mean, you can imagine the conversation. God forbid anyone has to have this conversation. In his situation, it's different. Verse 9, why hast thou debased thy soul? He's not saying your flesh. He's saying, why have you cursed yourself? Who was educated in the Holy of Holies and received thy food from the hand of angels. This is documented if you stayed with this. Verse 10, but she, with a flood of tears, replied, I am innocent, and I have known no man. And listen, she no matter how this conception took place, she had not known any man, right? Think deep. Allow yourself to think. Throw the traditions of men and their self-righteousness away and allow God to be God. Don't put him in a box, okay? It's wrong of us to do that to him. He is not a man. He is God. He'll do what he knows he has to do. Verse 11, then said Joseph, how comes it to pass you are with child? Question. Mary answered, as the Lord my God liveth, I know not by what means. She doesn't understand everything that has just happened. She is completely spun. She don't know. She's a young girl, not a woman of the world yet. So she's really confused. Verse 13. Then Joseph was exceedingly afraid and went away from her, considering what he should do with her. And he thus reasoned within himself, if I conceal her crime, I shall be found guilty by the law of the Lord, by God's law. And if I discover her to the children of Israel, I fear lest she being with child by an angel, I shall be found to betray the life of an innocent person. Because he knows they're not, these priests and the men of that time wasn't really nice guys. They rule with an iron fist. You could call them cruel if you wanted to. Jesus dealt with them later on. Verse 16, what therefore shall I do? Joseph questioned within himself, what do I do? And he comes to the conclusion on his own, I will privately put her away. I will privately dismiss her. I'm going to hide her away. He was a good man. He was not a cruel man, is what this shows. That's why God chose him. He knew his heart. He knew Joseph could handle it. He could cut it, man. He was tough. Verse 17. Then the night was come upon him, when behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream, and said, this happens a lot. God was happy with Joseph. God, when Joseph said, I will dismiss her privately, God was like, that's my guy. That's my guy. That's why I chose him. That's why I let the dove land on his staff. Because he's not a cruel man. I'm going to be able to work with this fellow. The Lord appeared to him in a dream, and he said, be not afraid. Verse 18 in the Protevangelion, if you want to document this for yourself, this is where you'll do it. Be not afraid to take that young woman, for that which is within her is of the Holy Ghost. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, Yeshua, God's salvation. He's going to set it right once and for all. He's going to finish it all. This Yeshua. For he shall save his people from their sins. He is the pride of his father's eye. He's the apple of God's eye. Verse 20 to finish this chapter. Then Joseph arose from his sleep and glorified the God of Israel, who had shown him such favor and preserved the virgin. And that is chapter 10 of the book of the Protevangelion, the Gospel of James. It's a beautiful thing to me, the way that God, He gets it done. He got it done. It is done. It is accomplished. There's no going back. There's nothing that they can do to turn this thing back. The only thing that Satan has left now is a checkmate. If you're familiar with this, we can even go with checkers, checkmate, whatever, chess, whatever. The only move that Lucifer has at this point is moving forward and back and back and forward. People parade these new things, dressing up as animals and homosexuality and all these things as something new under the sun. Well, it is nothing new under the sun. It's all been done before. It has all been done before. The only move he has now is back and forth waiting on the checkmate, which is right around the corner. It is. Judgment Day is not going to be something that everyone needs to dread. Your father's not flying around looking for someone to zap and punish. He that has thoughts of love and peace for his children, the Elohim, the hosts of heaven, which is what you are, the soul that is driving this flesh. The flesh is only a vehicle. Your soul, your spirit, is the intellect of your soul. This flesh was never supposed to be. Lucifer and the rebels caused it to happen. Ultimately, the buck will stop with our Father. He owns this. What a beautiful thing. What a beautiful thing the plan of salvation is when you really understand how it all is going to play out. The brilliance of it, the perfection of it, is a great thing. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming. Subscribe, hit that smash, like, subscribe, and you'll get notified when we put these out. I'm sorry it took so long in between, but hey, I'm only a man. I'm just a man, and the hat, this orange thing, it's not for anything special. It's humility. I'm not in a fashion show. I'm putting forth my Father's word. I love you guys. Thank you for all of your prayers. I pray for you. And until next time, we'll be in chapter 11. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see if we can get out of here.